Campos here at Epic Cards and Game with
Tyler Bryan.
And I heard you've been doing quite well with your deck all around locals.
Yeah, good enough. Unchained's pretty good, you know, but just a lot of loses to certain stuff. But like, yeah, it's pretty consistent.
You get to at least top 4 when you enter, right?
Yeah, it's usually I've won like a couple locals, but like usually it's like consistently top 4. But like it just had like loses to certain stuff like Dragoon and stuff, so it's just not really consistent. It's just gonna auto lose to certain things. All right, so right now got triple Uruha. This one, you just you target any of your speller traps and you destroy it, and then it summons this guy and locks you into fiends. And then whenever it's destroyed off the field, it just summons any other name from the hand or deck. So that's this is your best starter because it's not normal. And then your other starter is this one. This one, it's an on-field effect. You target quick effect, target any of your cards you control, and destroy it, and then you're locked into fiends, and it floats just the same way as the Ruha. And here you've got triple Sarama. This is the reason why the deck is good. This is your follow-up play. It's just an instant +1. This one, you target any Unchained card in your grave, set, and then destroy a card you control all in one effect. So usually you're just destroying just a card for free from your graveyard that you set, and then you're just getting a free monster out of this, or a free card, which is like really, really good.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, so on the turns, whenever you stop them, you always want this in your hand every single turn so you can play. And then the big guys, this guy, on summon, you just discard non-target destroy card, and then end phase, if he was destroyed, he can come back. But Konami balances cards, so you can only summon him once per turn. But he's just a 3K big boy. To make the links in this deck, you have to use Unchained Soul monster, not just Unchained. So you can look here, it's like Unchained Twin, it's like Unchained Soul. So you need this guy to make the links.
Interesting.
And then this guy, this is your brick. There's no way to summon him by himself other than with the other cards. This guy, he's basically able to link, target a monster your opponent controls, and then he just links it off using this and that one into a Darkling monster. Gains 300 attack for each Unchained card in your grave, so it spells and traps and monsters. And then if it's destroyed by a battle or card effect off the field, it targets any Unchained monster in your grave and special summons it. So it's just a reborn. It's just a really good card, but you play one because whenever you need it, you just summon it out of the deck, and when you draw it, you cry inside. So the hand traps, if you're not playing Dimension Shifter in your deck in Unchained, you need to stop playing it or put in D-Shifter, because Unchained does not care at all about any of his stuff hitting the grave. It just needs to be destroyed, period, off the field, and that's it. It stops literally almost everything in the meta right now, other than like Madolche, Unchained, maybe a slower deck is bad against, but like all the combo and everything, you shifter, no response, they set pass, and then you either make a board and keep them from playing the next turn and kill them the next, or you just kill them that next turn if you have like 2 Unchained Twins. So the card's insane. And to complement the Dimension Shifter, we're playing 3 Phantasme. So if you don't have the Dimension Shifter, but they're playing Links, which is like 85 to 90% of the meta, you summon this, and then you draw a bunch of cards, and you don't have any cards in your grave, and you have Shifter, and you just use it there. So, and then that stops their play, and you have a 2400 beater, and you shuffle back your dog that you drew, like all your bricks. It's really, really good, and it has the built-in protection. It's just so good. Now, that's all for the monsters. That's 18 monsters. You've got 3 Pot of Greed. This is just so good. You don't want to use Pot of Desires, because you need all of your cards in your deck. All your monsters is really important, and you play like a couple bricks or whatever. But you don't really care about your X deck, and a lot of the time you're never even going into the extra deck. Like usually like your main deck is enough to like beat down most people. But your extra deck is like the way of like stopping them on their turn most of the time.
So pretty much every deck that runs or not every deck that runs Extravagance, but every deck that like does things runs Extravagance has that one Banish 6 that just really hurts. Is there a Banish 6 that just kind of like hurts you in your soul?
Yeah, because this deck and the extra deck, we don't have really many options, because whenever you use the red or the blue, the Ruha or Rakea to summon, you're locked in a Fiend, so you don't really have anything to really summon that much. You're only summoning maybe like max 2 monsters every turn while being locked in the Fiend, so you don't have that many options. You usually want to just summon an Unchained Link monster and be able to do stuff on their turn. You got the 3 Rotas. It searches, it's not even just Rota, it's any card. So this searches any card in your deck, any Unchained card, And then if it's destroyed while set, then it summons any Unchained monster from the deck. You use each effect per turn, which is really good. So like, let's say you draw 2, you search 1, they ash it, okay, set another one, you have your Unchained monster, and you're able to pop this and get another monster and keep playing. So like, drawing 2 of these isn't terrible.
Nice.
Then my last spell is just Called by the Grave. It's a 1-of card that's just really good. Stops certain things, stops certain hand traps, like if you have to make a certain board, like the main board sometimes, or just hits like Shadal monsters, or just anything. This card's just really good. Other Unchained cards for the traps, those 7 spells. You got Escape the Unchained. This is Scrap Dragon. If it's destroyed while set, it summons any Unchained monster from your deck. You always want to see this with any of your twins, except for the purple. Red, blue, pop this, summon another. And yeah, and then this one, it's just target, it's an interruption. It targets a Unchained monster and any card on the field and destroy both. So that's really good. This one is the same thing. When it's destroyed while set, summon any Unchained monster from your deck. And this is a special from hand or grave any Unchained monster. And then that's it for the engine. And then we've got 3 Unchained Torrential Tribute, because this card just complements the deck so much. It doesn't care if anything's destroyed, it just floats into more monsters. You're literally just replacing all the cards that get destroyed. It's just really, really good. You gotta play this card in your deck. 3 Ice Dragon's Prison. It's just hits a bunch of grave stuff, and anything that like you struggle with that you can't target and or destroy, like Dragoon. You just use this and get rid of it. And then other than that, like, it just hits grave really well. Like against Dragonlink, it's really good. Against Shadals, it's really good. It just has a lot of great applications, or you can even use it to kill them. This just does so much. But you gotta be careful, because not to use Rikeya or Ruha before you use this sometimes, because it will lock you into fiends, and sometimes you can't, summon their guy. I usually don't play this card, Heavy Duster, just pops 2 cards. But around here in locals, there's a lot of people playing Mystic Mine, Geist, a bunch of just lame stuff. So I'm kind of forced just to play this card, but it's almost engine sometimes, because sometimes I won't see a monster, but I'll see this plus any Unchained trap, and I'll just destroy it with this, and maybe like 1 card they have, and then I'll get to a monster, and that I'm able to play at that point. So this is pretty decent, but yeah, that's why that's in here. If this wasn't here, I'd be playing like either more hand traps, or I'd be playing like Pankratops and Feather Duster. And last card, Bandit. It's just Imperial Orders. Card's stupid.
My favorite card.
Yeah, I know. It's just so dumb. Like, you just draw this sometimes when they hand trap you and you win, or they have a handful of spells. And I don't have to explain this card. This card's good. Alright, so that's it for the main day. It's a clean 40. The extra deck is going to be really boring, but you got 3 Unchained Solar Rage. This guy is your main interruption. It's the way you stop them from playing for a turn. This guy, you can target any spell summon monster your opponent controls during their main phase, and use this and the target as link material for a dark link monster. It has to be dark, and it has to be only that card and that card. So only 2 materials basically, which limits the things you can summon. And then other than that, whenever this is destroyed off the field by battle card effect, you add any fiend to graveyard to the hand. So usually you're always adding Sarama back to your hand, because that's your follow-up every single time. Because if you don't get to Sarama to the following turn, you're top decking. It's really, really bad. You're basically just giving them another turn. You have to get to Sarama every single turn. This is very important. But yeah, 3 to complement the Unchained Solar Rage is Soul of Anguish. This one's kind of like Disaster and Rage put together. This one, it's not a quick effect, but you just target any monster your opponent controls, and it uses both this and that target as link material for a Dark Link monster. And when it's destroyed by battle card effect, does the same thing as Rage. It targets any fiend in the grave and add it. So usually, like, let's say you have Escape, which is the pop and chain monster and any other on the field. You'll Rage, get rid of something else, and then you'll have Escape, pop this and another card on the follow-up, so that's 2 interruptions, and then this will add back Sarama, and then you have a follow-up for the next turn, and if they don't do anything after that, you can kill them. The last 3 Unchained monsters, this guy, which you do not summon that much, but usually when you there's a Usually if you're playing like top deck wars, or you just need like a link 3 to summon while you're locked in the fiends, this is it. It's just this guy's popping 3 cards a turn, but he doesn't float like the others, so it freaking sucks. So like if you get rid of him, then it's like, well, there goes my monster. But yeah, like whenever a card is destroyed by battle, this triggers on resolution, target card on the field, destroy it. Whenever something is destroyed by card effect, this triggers, and then at end phase it targets any card on the field and destroys it. And like you can use all 3 in one turn. It's just really, really good.
This is the only Unchained that's like generic, right?
Yeah, exactly. You only need 2+ like monsters, including a link monster. Like this one, like these two, you need any monster and an Unchained Soul monster, which is the dog, Disaster, and then the 3K guy. There's the only 2, but yeah, this is just generic. You don't need Unchained Soul monster. You just need a link monster and then 2+ monsters, and that's it. So usually you go into Anguish, target one of their guys, and make this. But yeah, there's also other OTKs where like you can kill them by like let's say you have like a monster here or like a trap here, and like you just run over something and then like you pop one of your guys or something and keep going, you know. But those don't happen too often, but you play 3 just because like it comes up enough. And then the Dark Link monsters, you got Nightmare Unicorn. Card's freaking insane. You use this with Rage or with Rage, and you're getting rid of 2 cards, like you're spinning anything back you want. But when you make this, it's because you're either going to win or you already have a follow-up with Sarama, because whenever you're using Rage to make this, now Rage is not going to get pumped anymore to add back another Unchained monster, which would be Sarama. So you got to be careful when you just make this and not have a follow-up. You'll actually like end up screwing yourself. So be careful with this. But this card's really, really good. You need to play this, and you always need to have it because it comes up so much. And then I would be playing 3 access code, but you already know how that goes. 3-0 Boros, just because it's a big dude. If you extract, is that 36?
42, right?
Oh yeah, 42. My math's terrible. Oh my gosh. So he gains 200 attack for each banished card, and that's not even yours either. It's like theirs too. So if they desire, it's super beefy. But you just want like a link 4 that this only requires 2+ monsters, which is really important for Rage and Anguish. Which is why you won't see Boral Sword or like any other of those cards. Yeah, I just wanted something that's a little bigger than like the biggest Dark Link monster that's a link 4 to make, and this is literally the only thing you can make because this is over 3,000 most of the time because you're doing extra or like they're banishing stuff, you know. It just comes up a lot. And sometimes you can, whenever they have like a full board or something, or they have to have an activating effect where they has to summon to a link pointer, you can Rage, like target like a link 2 or something, and make this, and then they'll resolve that card effect, and it summons to a link pointer, and then it banishes everything, and then this will come back. It comes up a little bit, like mainly against Phantom Knights or Adonister, but when it does, it's fatal.
Right.
Yeah, but that's it. It's just 5 freaking monsters in the extra deck because Unchained doesn't really need that much. That's my token. Yugioh. And then you've got, my side is 3 Lancia, just a catch-all hand trap. Virtual World, Invoked, Tri-Brigade, freaking PK Fire, they have to banish stuff. Dragon Link, it's really good against. It just hits so much stuff, it's really, really good. We've got 3 Nibiru, just catch-all, mainly against Rogue, but like stops certain combo decks that can't play around it. And this other just random stuff like Zeus or Access Code, if they're usually like making that, just stuff like that. Salamagrate auto lose to this. Yeah, that's about it. I don't really have to play Nibiru. Spicy, the Retaliating Sea, or like the 3 more Dimension Shifter, basically. Any fusion deck or any ritual deck, when they activate that card, like the ritual or the fusion spell, you activate this, you summon it, and then that fusion spell and all the monsters they're using as materials all get banished because it's Macrocosmos, and then they have to deal with the card. So like going first, like they're just going to lose a lot of resources trying to out it, which are also going to get banished, or they'll just freaking pass. And you'll set up a board that they can't get out, and then they still have to get rid of this. So this card is really, really good against those decks. And then the Egyptian God cards. You gotta play these. If you're not playing these, you're just doing yourself a disservice. This is a +1. This is a +5 sometimes, and this just keeps them from playing. And usually, like, you're just able to like OTK or just out their board and then make a board they can't. You know, you don't have these playing this card. Cards are so good. And then last, Solemn Judgment. so you can stop a bunch of, you know, lame stuff. Feather Duster. Sometimes if they only have engine and they normal summon to start their play, you'll stop the Summonal Judgment or just stop a summon. It's a very versatile card. Yeah, it's pretty good, but that's about it, man. Unchained gang, rise up. All right. Game's really, deck's really good. It just, you know, just lose to certain stuff. Like if decks that like where they destroy, you just auto win against. But anything where like it's like Ultrageist where they like bounce, they send, or Dragoon where you can't target destroy it, like it's just rough. Yeah, so that's about it. Yeah, that's Unchained, man.
Yeah,
any questions?
Well, any questions, put them in the comments.
Yeah, man, I'll answer them, man. Unchained gang, rise up.